My imperfections and failures are as much a blessing from God as my success and my talents, and I lay them both at his feet. Mahatma Gandhi ran the peaceful protest in India. Journey is the reward. See that person in the water? It's over on the island of Oahu. That's a real picture. The photograph. Life is tough, but so are you. You know, this was supposed to be a platter, a food platter. See the two handles? You got your handle over here, handle over here. But when the man put it in the kiln, it broke. This whole centerpiece broke out of it when he fired it in the kiln because of some imperfection. He had it in the back of the store. He didn't know what to do with it. He didn't have a price tag on it. He thought it was worthless. Boy, I saw that broken platter and I said, what are you doing with this? How much would this cost? This was a artist. This is an artist in the state of Florida selling artery pieces, pieces hand thrown on a kiln, one-of-a-kind items. He said, what would you do with that? What are you going to do with that? It's broken, as if it was worthless. I said, well, I'm not going to serve food in it, but I can hang it on my wall. See the woman? See the brown-skinned woman with her eyes closed? It's her lips. She's not making any sound. Her lips are shut. Her eyes are shut. She's seen so much. Yeah. That piece resonated with me. As soon as he knew I wanted to buy it, his attitude changed. He said, I'm going to have to think about that. He did have to think about that. He had to think about a piece that he thought was worthless now suddenly had value because somebody saw something in it and wanted it. Because somebody resonated with being a broken woman. Interesting, huh? Life is interesting. There's some bird feeders. Can't hardly see because of the moisture. It's humid in Ohio. See the moisture? It's a double wall, double window. See through it here, but it's all kind of foggy there. Anyway, the squirrels are still stealing from the birds. Nothing new there. You remember this election? Remember when we had a choice between these two in the primary, right? We had the primary. I was still a registered Republican at that point. I had to change parties and become a Democrat to say I wanted Barack Obama to be the front runner in the Democrats. That was when he ran against the war hero, the POW guy. Can't think of his name. White dude. Anyway, he won the election. And then, years later, this lady ran. And this guy, and a third guy, I won't mention his name. That's a name that I don't want on my lips. There's a picture of him, though. Yeah. Funny thing, politics. Wrote a nice book. Wrote two nice books, actually. I think my sister has them both. Then they left. That was scary when they left. This guy was a trip. that one, Stormy. Every one of these covers of the Time magazine, if you open up the Time magazine, you can find out about the cover, the actual cover picture. Jared Kushner. They mean something. Everything has a meaning. Nothing is by accident, you see. Everything has subliminal meaning to the person who took the time to make the cover. Like this here, like the chair. This. I'll show you what I mean here. The view, da-da-da-da-da, nothing to see here. FBI raid of Trump's lawyers. Time off. I should say something about 100 life-size cutouts of Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg. Facebook is no good. On the cover illustration by Tim O'Brien. Time magazine. Yeah, there's a lot of hidden meaning in things. Anyhow, that was a trip. That was 4 years of hell. Nancy and Ronnie. What happened to this party? Well, that's all gone underground for the moment, hasn't it? Taught me something. Taught me a lot about my neighbors. Taught me a lot about white people. Heard a lot of things white people were saying. They saw me and thought I was one of them. Well, I mean, I'm Irish. I'm white. I'm very, very white. My skin is white. I don't think like them. Not one of them. Things they said made my hair stand up. You know, you ever have that experience like where your hair stands up on end? That's an involuntary thing. I can't make my hair stand on end. You know, that's a sympathetic nervous system, not the central nervous system, not the CNS, but the SNS. It's involuntary. That piloerection, certain muscle and all the hair muscle, your hair stand up. Usually when you're in a state of fear. What about when your body reacts to a state of fear and there is no stimulus? Sometimes that happens when you have PTSD. You get triggered. Something triggers you, your hair stands up. And your sympathetic nervous system is responding to a fight or flight. You know any veterans? You know any people that suffered through tragedy, that lived and survived through tragedy? They have post-trauma stress disorder. They're not wound the same anymore. Their nervous system is not the same anymore. It's not a psychological condition. It is a physiological central nervous system, sympathetic nervous system involved. It is involuntary. It is like the war veteran who hears the 4th of July fireworks in the sky and involuntarily shrinks and jumps and drops to the ground. Ooh, look at the rodent. Look at the rat. You see the chipmunk? See the chipmunk on the left? There's the flag. Follow the bucket on the left. Can you see him, or does the fog occlude your vision? Shaky, shaky, little hula girl. Shaky, shaky, sexy little Hawaiian girl. I like toys. Always like toys. I like these wind-up kind. I like these little toys you just pay $1 for or something. Just wind them up. Watch the Rugrat. A little baby crawl. Funny thing about babies, when a woman has a baby in her womb, she has a dream. When you're impregnated, and your egg leaves your ovary and it gets fertilized and you have a baby in your womb, that's a dream. That's a whole dream. Doesn't matter if you carry that dream for 4 weeks or 12 weeks. It's a dream. In your head, that's a baby. That's either a baby boy or a baby girl. You have names for it. You have images of what you're going to do with that baby. It's a whole dream. When you lose your dream, it takes time to grieve your dream. You lost something. You didn't just lose an embryo. You didn't just lose whatever they call the developmental stages. You had a whole dream wrapped up in there. So it don't matter if you lose your baby at 4 weeks or 4 months. You lose something real important, and you take time to grieve that loss. And then maybe you go ahead and you have another baby later on. But you don't jump from the fire into the frying pan, do you? Do you jump from the frying pan into the fire? No, you take time. Same way as when you lose a dog, you don't just run out and get another dog. You grieve the loss of the dog you had. You reminisce on the 10, 12 years you had that dog and how that dog smelled and how that dog acted and where that dog slept and how it farted, whether it came to you and obeyed your commands. You lose a dog, it's trauma. It's a traumatic thing. You don't dwell in pity. You grieve the loss honestly and authentically, and then you let it go. And when your heart has healed, you open up your arms, you open up your heart, you open up your life and your home to another animal. My animals have been very important in my life. For some reason, I seem to care more about the animals in my life. They substituted animals in my life from the relationships that maybe I could have had with people, but I did not find. I already did a video about my dog, Annie. That was my baby girl. Loved that dog. I loved that dog. And when she passed, I didn't go get a puppy. I went and got 2 full-grown adult dogs that had lived together for 10 years, and they came into my house and they lived from age 10 to 11 to 12 before they got sick and old. Sometimes people throw away an animal. It's not the dog's fault. Look at my dogs. Perfectly fine dogs. Didn't nobody want this dog. This dog was so unwanted, she was going to be put to sleep. Because they said, oh, she's a bite risk. This is not a dog for people. This dog needs to be put down. We're not going to put this dog on the adoption floor. Gathering Place took one look at her picture up there in Columbus, Ohio. Said, I'm going to save that dog. I'm going to find a rescue. They're going to pull that dog, and I'm going to adopt that dog. Her name's Cara. She's a girl. C-A-R-A. She's my daughter. There's big old Kona. His name was Bruce. He was up in Troy, Ohio. Didn't nobody want him either. He was a throwaway dog. Didn't nobody want these dogs. Gathering Place wants them. Gathering Place loves these dogs. This is her family. This is my tribe. This is my dog pack. What's this over here? Oh, this is a TV. That's right. I like having the TV on during the day. You know why? Because I don't like being alone too much. Who's this? Oh, The Real Deal with Shonda Davis. 113 views. March. Let me go back here. I just watched all of that. We got a package unopened. Here, let's Shonda. Let's run some Shonda. Let's get some Miss Shonda Davis on the TV. Let's get some voices in the house. Now we're not alone, are we? Yeah, I'm coming up. You bet your sweet ass I'm coming up. I don't have to pin it. Let me pin this up. That's not my content, is it? Is she going to give me a copyright strike, or does YouTube give me a copyright strike? I just wanted to show you that I like to run people's playlists. I like to run people's videos because I like to hear the noise. I like the sound of your voice. I like to sit in my room and hear the voice of a human being on the other side of the wall. Because the sound of the silence is so deafening. It is so loud, the silence in this house. It's just Monday. It's just a rainy Monday. Take the trash out to the curb. Watch the rodents eat the bird seed. Just another day. Just another day still on the antibiotics. Still fighting the bacteria. Fighting the good fight. If I can watch 6 hours of your content, can you watch 16 minutes of mine? I mean, can you watch it? Can you turn it on and have the phone nearby and glance at it occasionally as you do your dishes, as you take your bath? Are we all too busy to hear each other? Does anyone hear anyone anymore? Do you hear the voices crying in the wilderness? I'm not going to sit here and eat McDonald's food in front of you and make it a mukbang and have you, like, comment, subscribe, like, comment, subscribe. I'm just a human being. Just an old, white, Irish woman who lives alone with 2 dogs. And this is my life. And I'm vlogging my life. Sometimes a mosquito comes around. It's a little pesky. It's a little troll-like things. Just swat them. Put some bug spray out and just get rid of them. Just don't matter. Life's too short.